In the glittering skyscrapers of New York City, where wealth flowed like an endless river, lived Isabella Montgomery, the only daughter of billionaire tech mogul Alexander Montgomery. Isabella, or Bella as her friends called her, had everything a girl could dream of: designer clothes that filled entire rooms, private jets for weekend getaways, and a social circle of influencers and heirs who partied until dawn. But beneath the facade of luxury, Bella harbored a secret shame: she was failing every single test in school. It wasn't for lack of resources. Her father had hired the best tutors money could buy, from Ivy League professors to educational consultants flown in from Europe. Yet, no matter how many flashcards she memorized or how many late-night cramming sessions she endured, the results were always the same: red marks scrawled across her papers, mocking her with Fs and Ds. Bella's life was a whirlwind of expectations. Her father, a self-made billionaire who had built his empire from a garage startup, believed in merit above all else. "Money can buy comfort, but not character," he'd often say, though his actions spoke differently. He pushed Bella relentlessly, enrolling her in the most prestigious private academy in the city, where the hallways echoed with the footsteps of future CEOs and politicians. But Bella felt lost in that world. She was smart in her own way, quick-witted at parties, a natural at negotiating deals for her father's charity events, but academics eluded her. Math problems blurred into incomprehensible symbols, history dates slipped from her memory like sand, and science experiments left her frustrated and defeated. Each failure chipped away at her confidence, turning her into a shadow of the vibrant girl she once was. Her mother, a former model who had passed away when Bella was 10, had always encouraged her to follow her heart, but without that gentle guidance, Bella felt adrift, drowning in a sea of parental pressure and self-doubt. One crisp autumn afternoon, after yet another disastrous biology exam, Bella stormed out of the academy gates, tears stinging her eyes. She didn't want to go home to face her father's disappointed gaze or the sympathetic nods from the household staff. Instead, she wandered into Central Park, seeking solace among the falling leaves. There, on a weathered bench near the Bethesda fountain, she spotted a boy about her age, scribbling furiously in a tattered notebook. He was dressed in faded jeans and a worn hoodie, his sneakers scuffed from miles of walking. His name was Ethan Ramirez, a scholarship student from the Bronx who attended a public high school and worked part-time at a local diner to support his single mother and younger siblings. Ethan was no stranger to hardship. His father had left when he was 5, leaving the family to scrape by on odd jobs and food stamps. But Ethan had a gift for learning. He devoured books from the library, taught himself coding on an old library computer, and dreamed of becoming an engineer to lift his family out of poverty. Bella slumped onto the bench next to him, not noticing him at first as she buried her face in her hands. A sob escaped her lips, and Ethan looked up, his dark eyes filled with quiet concern. "Hey, you okay?" he asked softly, his voice carrying a warmth that cut through her isolation. Bella glanced at him, surprised by the genuine kindness in his tone. She wasn't used to strangers caring without an agenda. Wiping her tears, she poured out her frustrations, the endless failures, the pressure from her father, the feeling of being utterly worthless. Ethan listened without interrupting, his notebook forgotten on his lap. When she finished, he didn't offer pity or empty platitudes. Instead, he said something that would change everything: "Maybe you're not starting from the right place. Sometimes, you have to go back to scratch, rebuild from the basics, no shortcuts." Intrigued despite herself, Bella asked what he meant. Ethan explained how he approached learning, not as a race to the finish line, but as building a house brick by brick. "You can't put up walls without a foundation," he said. "Show me one of your tests." Hesitant, Bella pulled a crumpled paper from her backpack, covered in red ink. Ethan scanned it, nodding thoughtfully. "See here? You're jumping to advanced concepts without grasping the fundamentals. Let's start over, from scratch." What began as a casual conversation turned into an impromptu lesson. Ethan broke down the biology questions into simple analogies, relating cell structures to the bustling streets of the city, where each part had a role in keeping the whole alive. For the first time, Bella felt a spark of understanding flicker in her mind. Over the next few weeks, their meetings became a routine. Bella would sneak away from her chauffeured rides and meet Ethan in the park after school. He refused any payment, insisting that helping someone was reward enough. But their worlds couldn't have been more different, and that created the first real challenge. Bella's friends mocked her for hanging out with that poor kid from the wrong side of town, whispering about how he probably just wanted her money. Her father, upon discovering the meetings through a nosy bodyguard, dismissed Ethan as a distraction. "You need professional help, not some street-smart boy," Alexander thundered during a heated dinner argument. Bella felt torn, loyal to her father's vision but drawn to Ethan's unpretentious wisdom. Meanwhile, Ethan faced his own doubts. His mother worried he was wasting time that could be spent on his studies or work, and his friends teased him about playing tutor to the princess. Class differences loomed like an invisible wall, making every interaction laced with unspoken tension. Yet, as they delved deeper into the lessons, emotional bonds formed. Ethan shared stories of his childhood. Nights without electricity, skipping meals so his siblings could eat, and the quiet determination that fueled his dreams. Bella opened up about her mother's death, how it left a void that no amount of wealth could fill, and how she feared she'd never live up to her father's legacy. Their conversations weren't just about academics, they were about life, resilience, and finding strength in vulnerability. One rainy evening, as they huddled under a park pavilion, Ethan confessed his biggest fear, failing his family. "I study so hard because if I don't make it, we're stuck," he said, his voice cracking. Bella reached out, squeezing his hand. "You're already making it, Ethan. Look at what you're doing for me." In that moment, something shifted, a connection born from shared pain and mutual respect. The challenges escalated when Bella's grades didn't improve overnight. Starting from scratch meant unlearning bad habits, and progress was slow. She failed another test midway through their sessions, leading to a meltdown where she accused Ethan of wasting her time. "This isn't working. I'm just as dumb as everyone thinks," she yelled, storming off. Ethan chased after her, grabbing her arm gently. "Quitting now means you never really started," he said firmly. "Learning isn't about being perfect, it's about showing up, even when it hurts." His words pierced her defenses, and she returned, humbled and ready to try again. Ethan introduced creative methods, drawing mind maps on napkins, role-playing historical events, and even using park squirrels to explain ecosystems. Slowly, Bella's understanding deepened. She began to see patterns where there were none before, and her confidence grew, not from rote memorization, but from genuine comprehension. As winter approached, the biggest test loomed, the Academy's mid-year comprehensive exams, which determined scholarships and honors placements. Bella's father had promised a lavish European trip if she passed, but more importantly, it was a chance to prove herself. Ethan helped her prepare tirelessly, sacrificing his own study time. But fate threw a curveball when Ethan's mother fell ill, forcing him to take on extra shifts at the diner. Their meetings dwindled, and Bella felt the weight of solitude again. In a moment of desperation, she visited Ethan's cramped apartment in the Bronx, a stark contrast to her penthouse. Seeing the reality of his life, peeling wallpaper, a single room shared by 4 people, shattered her privileged bubble. "I didn't realize," she whispered. Ethan's mother, weak but kind, smiled from her bed. "He's a good boy. Don't let him down." Inspired, Bella rallied, studying alone with the tools Ethan had given her. The day of the exam arrived, nerves twisting in Bella's stomach like knots. As she sat in the grand hall, pencils scratching around her, she recalled Ethan's voice, "Start from scratch, build it up." Question by question, she applied the foundations, breaking down complexities into manageable parts. When the results came in, Bella stared at the paper in disbelief, an A-, her first passing grade in years. Tears of joy streamed down her face as she rushed to the park, where Ethan waited. "I did it," she sobbed, hugging him tightly. But the victory was bittersweet. Ethan's mother had recovered, but he revealed he was applying for colleges far away, chasing scholarships that could change his life. In the months that followed, Bella's transformation rippled outward. She aced her finals, earning her father's proud embrace for the first time in years. "I'm sorry I pushed you so hard," Alexander admitted. "You've taught me something too." Bella used her newfound voice to advocate for underprivileged students, starting a tutoring program at her academy funded by her father's company. Ethan, with Bella's recommendation letter, secured a full ride to MIT. Their farewell was emotional, a promise to stay in touch amid tears and laughter. "You didn't just teach me school stuff," Bella said. "You taught me to believe in myself." Ethan grinned. "And you showed me that kindness crosses any divide." Years later, Bella stood on a TED stage, sharing her story to a rapt audience. She had become a successful entrepreneur, blending her father's business acumen with Ethan's grounded wisdom. Ethan, now an engineer innovating sustainable tech, remained her closest friend. Their journey proved that true success isn't born from wealth or status, but from humility, perseverance, and the courage to start over. No matter where you come from, rebuilding from the basics can lead to extraordinary heights. It's a reminder that failure isn't the end, it's the foundation for growth. And there you have it, folks, the incredible tale of how a billionaire's daughter turned her life around with the help of an unlikely hero. If this story touched your heart or inspired you to tackle your own challenges, hit that like button right now. It means the world to us and helps spread these motivating messages far and wide. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more emotional stories, life lessons, and feel-good content that keeps you coming back. Turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. What's your biggest takeaway from Bella and Ethan's journey? Drop it in the comments below, we love hearing from you.